The mere mention of the delete statement should make you feel just a little uncomfortable because this statement is what we use to delete one or more rows from a table, and note those words there, or more. This can strike terror into the heart of a developer, and rightfully so, because trust me, you're going to make this mistake probably once and not twice. Notice if you use the syntax, the basic syntax for the delete statement, delete from, then you'll put the table name. And you'll normally put schema.tablename. But if you execute this query, all the rows from the table will magically disappear. You just told SQL Server to delete all the rows in the table. And keep in mind now, this is SQL Server. This is not Excel or Word or anything like that. These helpful little hints aren't going to pop up. You're about to delete all your data. Are you sure? Is this really what you want to do? We're just trying to keep you out of trouble. You don't get any of that stuff. It just simply deletes all the rows from the tables. There is a way to get it back if you've thought ahead, and I'll talk about that later when we talk about transactions. But the bottom line is you should always include a where clause with the delete statement. Notice if I say delete from schema.tablename, where, and I put a condition. So let's say I want to delete a row from a table where it's a record for Jack Johnson. I'm going to say delete from whatever the table name is, where first name equals Jack and last name equals Johnson. And I've got to check and make sure that that uniquely identifies that row enough, because it's also quite terrifying and surprising when you're trying to delete Jack Johnson. You execute the delete command and it pops up and says 26 rows affected. And you seriously doubt there were 26 rows that you really meant to delete from that table. So this is something we're going to talk about this. I'm going to show you a neat little trick and a workaround for this to help you when we talk about the delete examples later on in a video entitled Using Delete. Note here, if you want to remove all rows from a table, and that is your purpose, don't use the delete from table name command. Use a command out there called truncate table. Could see this one on the exam, but just understand this is a piece of functionality that's hard-coded into Transact SQL. It's a statement in Transact SQL for this purpose. It's faster on deleting all the data, and it uses much less system and transaction log resources. Just kind of keep that in mind. Now, if you look in your working files folder, you'll see the documentation for delete, just like it was there for insert and update. It's in PDF form, so you can easily print it out, take it with you, and just kind of read up on it. And you can also see the video later in the course called Using Delete, where we'll code up some delete examples together. And then that example code can also be found in the working files folder, so you can copy and paste or examine it, and you don't have to type it all up, fat finger it like I do, and then try to figure out what's wrong. So the delete statement, incredibly powerful, too powerful sometimes, but I'll help you when we talk about the code. Do a couple of things to protect yourself from getting into trouble, and we'll also revisit this when we talk about transactions later on in the course as well. So there's the skinny, another technical term for you, on the delete statement.